What is up, guys? In today's video we're gonna be testing out Dying the Beast once again, just this time with Lossless Scaling, and we're gonna see how it performs, how much it actually adds to the game, because otherwise the game is playable on sort of 30 frames, not always. So I'm excited to see how it performs with Lossless Scaling enabled, and without any further ado, let's get right into the testing. And we also have disable frame limit enabled, and on 9 watts of TDP as always. I did not really bother changing the settings. I left it pretty much the same exact way as from the last testing. Almost everything on low besides texture quality on high and motion blur quality on medium, but I honestly would wanna turn this thing off, but I guess I can't. Either way, we also set an FPS limit of 182. I don't know why. Either way, just to see if the Steam Deck LCD with lossless scaling can actually reach higher frames than 60 FPS. Upscaling on performance mode using the TAU, because everything else works like a pile of garbage on the Steam Deck LCD over here, and I'm wondering how this will actually perform now. Obviously same. Alright, so I gotta be honest with you, so far I'm not exactly sure if I'm using lossless scaling, but I think I am on 2 times. Yeah, flow scale on 50 here and on performance mode. Alright. I mean, obviously this is the safe area, so it shouldn't be that bad. I did turn off frame generation because that one also adds some delay, but somebody in the comments on my last Dying Light the Beast video recommended me to try lossless scaling, and honestly, if this is the case, we're gonna go out and I would like to see how it performs on the outside world, because obviously this save or cave is not as demanding, I suppose. But I don't really want to go out in the night time because it's not really that recommended. I don't want to get chased or hunted down by a bunch of volatiles. Alright, so here we're outside. Now obviously this lossless scaling also adds some sort of delay, but it's, I guess, not as bad as if you would be combining it with frame gen as well. Also it's a bit of ghosting, or some weird stuff is happening on the screen just because of the lossless scaling. But if I would not be using this, my frames would be incredibly a pile of dog shit, seriously. Also, I gotta be completely honest with you, I haven't been playing Dying Light the Beast for I think a week now, and I almost forgot the controls. Alright, we have this annoying shitty Epic Games shit that I'm not gonna log into. I don't know how many of you have this. I mean, we all have this, but I'm freaking not gonna log into this garbage. I wanna find actually a car to see if a lot of stuff is happening, if we're driving fast, how well does our FPS hold up in that regard. Woo, that is crazy. Alright, we might even crash here, I'm not sure, but this is crazy. Yeah, so never really experienced this, but probably because the settings I'm using. Holy moly, That is crazy. I think without lossless scaling we would have already crashed, or I'm not really sure, but like this is beyond my mind to like what was happening before on the screen. So the funny thing is that the game is certainly more playable, but we also did like encounter some FPS drops, huge FPS like freezes and stuff like that. Because I think like TAU has been the greatest performer, at least since the game has been out on the Steam Deck. So in my honest opinion, the game is a bit more playable, and also like you get, you know, a bit of delay with lossless scaling. But seriously, on a title like this where the game runs relatively poorly, otherwise if you're not using any sort of upscaler, it comes in handy. Like obviously, you know, those sort of freezes that you have seen before can happen, but overall solid. I would say it's a solid, you know, experience this way. Like we almost have like a solid 40, you know, we could potentially lock our frames to like 40 frames so that we have a more stable FPS. This is single-handedly the most fun weapon in the game, or at least the ones that I know of. Like, you know, there is probably a dozen more weapons that I still have not found yet. Alright, so sometimes, you know, ooh, holy crap. Alright, so sometimes I guess we can see 60 frames if I'm looking downstairs like this, but that would be smooth, certainly smooth, but that's not gonna be possible to play like that. Either way, the game is reasonably more smoother than without any lossless scaling. Try it out for yourself and give it a try how you enjoy it, what you prefer. Let me know in the comments below. How do you prefer the game more, without or with lossless scaling? Take care as always, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.